Thank you very much.
Luck, you guys.
And have fun.
Yes, that.
Good morning. I'm Carol Hillman, a member of the Board of Trustees, and welcome. It's great to be here with you all. Looking forward to connecting with you after the service across the hall for coffee hour in our fireside room. Warm welcome to all who are joining us online. Our worship together here is the centerpiece of our communal life at MLUC. Here we can let go, be held, and be challenged as we share and reflect on life's journey. We nurture a loving community that cares for each other, supports each of us in our quests for meaning in life, and inspires us to bring more peace, justice, and compassion to our world. Today's service will be led by our youth. Dawn Star Sarahs-Borchelt, Graham Kokis, Sarah Kokis, Travis Billisbach-Scholl, and our coming of age youth sharing will be by Amalia Capewell, Katie Billisbach-Scholl, Rachel Callahan, and Sarah Kokis. Our Director of Learning and Family Ministries, Dawn Star Sarahs-Borchelt, and our Youth Ministry Coordinator, Henry Zink, will also be leading our service. The music was selected by our youth and provided by our music director, David Brown, and Jodie Brown on piano. Before our service begins, please silence your electronic devices. And join with me in saying our mission. Together, we transform lives through love, service, and our welcoming faith.
Our chalice lighting this morning comes from Joseph M. Cherry. As we gather together for worship this morning, being both near and far, we light our chalice as we do each week. It is a symbol of our faith. May its light be a beacon of hope for the many, those who feel lost, those who feel threat, those who feel tired, those who are uncertain. May our beacon of hope help you find home, help you feel safe, give you respite, and honor your searching mind and spirit. Now, unfortunately, in today's world, there is just so much sadness and despair. It's not just big things, but little ones too, like stubbing your toe or Sarah's cake running out before you get there. All that is a part of life, but let's take a break from it and sing hymn number 235, Deck the Halls with Boughs of Holly.
So I started coming to MLUC like 10 years ago. So I was like 4 years old. I was really little. And I would always like to come and sit up here to look at the pictures. So if you would like to do the same, I invite you to come on up. Hi. The story today is called The Day You Begin by Jacqueline Woodson, and it's illustrated by Rafael Lopez. This will be a test of my shoulder strength. There will be times when you walk into a room and no one there is quite like you. Maybe it will be your skin, your clothes, or the curl of your hair. There will be times when no one understands the way words curl from your mouth, the beautiful language of the country you just left behind. My name is Rigoberto. We just moved here from Venezuela. And because they don't understand, the classroom will fill with laughter until the teacher quiets everyone. Rigoberto from Venezuela. Your teacher says, so soft and beautifully that your name and homeland sound like flowers blooming, the first bright notes of a song. There will be times when the words don't come, your own voice, once huge, now smaller, when the teacher asks, what did you do last summer? Tell the class your story. We went to France, Chila says. These shells came from a beach in Maine. A boy named Jonathan holds out a jar filled with tiny shells so fragile they look like they'll turn into dust in your own untraveled hands. My whole family went to India, Spain, South Carolina, each a souvenir, a small triumph of a journey. Their travels going on and on. And as you stand in front of that room, you can only remember how the heat waved as it lifted off the curb, and your days spent at home caring for your little sister who made you laugh out loud and hugged you hard at nap time. You can only remember the books you kept on reading long after she had fallen to sleep. And in that room, where no one else is quite like you, you'll look down at your own empty hands and wonder, what good is this when other students were flying and sailing and going somewhere? There will be times when the lunch your mother packed for you is too strange or too unfamiliar for others to love as you do. When even your own friend Naja will wrinkle her nose and say, what's in there anyway? And you'll wonder how she doesn't see the rice beneath the meat and kimchi. You'll wonder why she doesn't remember that rice is the most popular food in the world. There will be times when the climbing bars are too high, the run is too fast and far, and the game isn't the one you can ever really play. I don't want him on our team. You can watch. Maybe you can have a turn later. There will be times when the world feels like a place that you're standing all the way outside of. And all that stands beside you is your own brave self, steady as steel and ready even though you don't know yet what you're ready for. There will be times when you walk into a room and no one there is quite like you until the day you begin to share your stories. My name is Angelina, and I spent my whole summer with my little sister. You tell the class, your voice stronger than it was a minute ago. reading books and telling stories, even though you were right on our block. It was like we got to go everywhere. This is the day you begin to find the places inside your laughter and your lunches, your books, your travel, and your stories, where every new friend has something a little like you and something else so fabulously not quite like you at all. That's it. If you're below 6th grade, you can go to your classes now.
A recipient of April's offering outreach is the Homegrown National Park. The Homegrown National Park raises awareness and urgently inspires everyone to address the biodiversity crisis by adding native plants and removing invasive ones where we live, work, learn, pray, and play. To make a cashless donation, if you're watching online or here in the sanctuary, please follow the instructions that you see on the screen or on the back page of the order of service. The offering will now be gratefully received, and will the ushers please come forward.
Hi, my name is Amalia Capewell, and when I was younger, and even now, I would get questions about my religion and relationship with church, the Bible, and overall what Unitarian Universalism was and how it was portrayed in my life. It was often hard to explain and answer questions like, "Are you Christian?" Because although the short answer is no, I am Unitarian Universalist, I also had to explain that yes, I did celebrate Christmas. I think the reason that it was so hard to explain and still is because many people have not heard about UUism and often exclaim that they don't know what it is. To be truthful, I have never actually thought about beefing up my answer more because I have never thought about what being a UU means to me. Through the Coming of Age program, I've come to realize that I don't know much about my religion and I would like to learn more. When I had tried to start writing my final project or traditional credo, I was stuck at a blank because I hadn't realized how much I hadn't thought about it. Of course, the first thing that I decided to do was look up on Google, what is Unitarian Universalism? Google says, Unitarian Universalism is a liberal religious tradition that encourages individual freedom of belief and draws from various religions and philosophies. That didn't give me inspiration or any specifics for what I was looking for, and was very loosely described. This frustrated me because maybe my original idea of a religion was the idea that there are specific things that are believed and followed to an exact. I had to realize that Unitarian Universalism is not that at all. No one told me what to believe or that I had to read the Bible, but by being part of this church since 2014 and attending various classes, services, and events, it helped me realize that I appreciate this element because it gives youth and their people in general the freedom to interpret it how they want, which helps make their beliefs and values come in a more raw and real way that is unique to each individual. Now that I know why I don't know a lot about my religion, I needed to figure out what it meant to me, whether that was specific or not. About 2 weeks ago, I was in the car with my friends coming home from a track meet we had together over spring break. I don't know exactly how the conversation came up, but they were asking me and my sister, Cadence, what exactly our church was about, and I was trying to explain, but my sister said, "It's more about celebrating life." That comment, I think, fully described the moral of being a UU, and I think that if I tell you about my life and the important things in it, it will fulfill the importance of this piece of writing and what I'm trying to dedicate this to. One of the things that I care about in my life is school and running. I care a lot about school. I have come to appreciate it more and more each year and focusing on studying and caring about my assignments more. Along with that, I really enjoy running and taking part in track and cross country. I love the community that surrounds it, and it is especially nice because I've been doing it since I was really young. Another thing that is important in my life is my family and friends. I love spending time with my friends and family, and I don't know what I would do without them. They surround my life, and it is so fun to be around them. Relating back to our church, one of the most important things that I think I have taken part in here, specifically, is Family Promise. It is one of the things that I think I have been part of the longest, because I remember being very little and sleeping over at the church with my whole family in support of the guests staying there that night. Being part of this, even though it may be a very small part, has helped me feel closer to the church community because I was helping out with something that a lot of other people are involved in. Also, something that I care about a lot is the overall justice and equality in the world that it lacks so much of. This relates to the 6 UU principle, which in simple terms means a goal of a worldly community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. I appreciate the idea that this principle is written down in a form that describes the desire for all humans to be appreciated and for a community for us to be in within the world. I am also interested in the environmental side of things, and I'm interested in knowing how to help the earth and give justice in that way too, because it is important to me to help to save the environment that we live in. This leads me to say that I do believe in the power of change. The power of change is very important in all aspects of life because being afraid of change and not being open to it could be one of the very factors that hurt the environment even more. It also doesn't have to apply to the environmental justice at all, but can be applied to almost any topic on the globe. Lastly, the next time someone asks me, "What is your religion?" and I respond, "Unitarian Universalism," and they ask, "What is that?" I'm sure that I will have an answer that truly means something to myself, my life, and the world.
Good morning. My name is Katie Bellisbach-Scholl, and I am one of the youth, specifically in Coming of Age. Although I do not believe in much of a spiritual world, I believe in many important daily practices and working hard to make the world a better place. I strongly believe in respecting everyone and being kind to everyone. Everyone is different, kindness never hurts, and you can learn from everyone, so always be kind and respect everyone you meet, from the laughing little kids to the insightful adults. In terms of Unitarian Universalism, there are 3 principles that address this value. Respecting everyone connects the 7th principle very clearly, being that the principle is respect for the interdependent web of all existence, of which we are a part, and the 1st and 4th principles. Respecting everyone is honoring the inherent worth and dignity of every person and supporting other people's free and responsible search for truth and meaning, which are the 1st and 4th principles. Thinking back to when I was younger, I remember that the older kids at the time would always play with us and were respectful to us instead of avoiding us due to the age gap. I also highly value and support being kind to absolutely everyone, including myself. Being kind not only means actively respecting and helping others, but also just taking care of yourself and doing the small things, like saying thank you. Being kind connects especially to the 3rd principle, which is the acceptance of one another and encouragement to spiritual growth. And I believe that the 6th principle, the goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all, will be achieved majorly through kindness. In order to be a truly good, kind person, I believe that hard work is very important. Although there are plenty of small acts of kindness that can brighten someone's day, overall, people have to work hard to truly be a good person. Hard work is not only important for success throughout life, but also being kind to others, which will in turn make you a happier person. For instance, when I went to Transylvania, everyone was super kind and welcoming, and in the background, they worked very hard to make us feel welcome, and I think everyone really appreciated all that our hosts and friends did, and it made our wonderful trip a complete success. Back to the principles, being that the world needs a lot of work to be fixed, hard work connects to many principles that try to unite and free people, including the 2nd principle, the 4th principle, the 5th principle, which gives a voice to everyone, and the 6th principle, which clearly states wanting to connect people globally through peace and justice. In this church, I both fully support the principles and goals of the church, and I love the community. Overall, everyone here is super kind and friendly, and I especially like the youth group, where we can hang out, learn about ourselves, and have a great time in a space that doesn't judge us and cares about us. Overall, throughout this process, I have learned a lot about myself. I have learned more about my church and the value of church and Unitarian Universalism. Thank you to everyone who has helped me throughout this process, especially Jansen Wendell, Henry Zink, and Dawn Star Sarahs-Borchelt.
It's our custom to share our personal joys and sorrows, expecting to be heard, accepted, and supported. Candles of community is our ritual of personal sharing and support. After each candle is lit, please join me in saying, "We hold you in our hearts." We light today a candle of healing for Adrian Klein's uncle Gary, who received a kidney transplant this week, thanks to the generous kidney donation by Adrian's mother, Judy, who joins us here today. For Adrian, Gary, and Judy, we hold you in our hearts. We light a candle on behalf of silent supporters who would like to light a candle of deep gratitude for all you who show up and stand up at protests, for any and all kinds of resisting on behalf of those who cannot. Much love and continued support to you. Not all heroes wear capes. Thank you. For all those people, we hold you in our hearts. We light a candle of joy for Margot Wirt. Margot's brother Christopher's wife, Elva, gave birth to their first child in Shenzhen, China on April 25th at 8:46 a.m. local time. Mom and baby and dad are healthy and happy, and everyone is preparing to start the traditional yuetze process, wherein the mother rests aggressively for a month after giving birth. The new baby, named still TBD as of the submission of this form, is loved intensely on every side of the Pacific and will hopefully find his way to Philadelphia area soon as everyone is ready to travel. For Margot, Christopher, Elva, and the baby, we hold you in our hearts. And for all joys and sorrows too deep for words, we light a candle and we hold you in our hearts. Now I invite you to please rise in body or in spirit for hymn number 347, Gather the Spirit. One of our 4 amazing youth who participated in the Coming of Age program was unfortunately unable to make it to us this morning. But by the miracle of modern technology, she was able to join us by video. So I would now invite you to please turn your attention to the large screen where we will hear the Coming of Age sharing from Rachel Callahan.
Hi, my name is Rachel Callahan, and I believe that all living things are special and deserve to be treated with respect and kindness. In religions, many times a set list of expectations is written out that define a good person in that religion. All religions are different, and these rules vary a lot between them, yet one principle seems to constantly appear in nearly all religions. Treat other people the way that you want to be treated. In Hinduism, hurt not others in ways that you yourself would find hurtful. In Christianity, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. In paganism, avoid doing what you would blame others for doing. In Islam, Buddhism, Zoroastrianism, Taoism, humanism, and even in Unitarian Universalism, we affirm and promote respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. In many more religions, the same basic principle is repeated again and again. I believe that this is the core principle to live by, and I try to live in accordance with this principle every single day. I believe it extends to all life, including plants, animals, and every single person who lives on this planet. I've had many pets in my life, and having these pets has brought a new level of joy into my life. They are so energetic and full of personality, and they have reminded me that animals are deserving of respect and kindness as well as people. I find myself subconsciously avoiding going into my room sometimes out of fear that they have died, which has made me understand the value of an animal's lives as well as those of people. Death is a natural part of life, which will eventually happen to everyone, but it doesn't mean I can't appreciate and enjoy the short time I do get to spend with my amazing pets out of fear that the time will end. I believe we should enjoy and appreciate each moment of our lives because tomorrow is never really guaranteed. I don't know if there's a God or an afterlife or some form of existence after you die, but I do know that we have lives here, which I think we should make the most of every single day. I believe that the lives of all people and all animals should be treated with kindness and respect at all times because everyone deserves the opportunity to have a good and a happy life. I believe no one should impact the life of another person in a way that they themselves would dislike. And I believe that the principle of treating other people how you want to be treated is the defining trait of a good person that all people should strive to live by. I would like to thank all of my RA teachers throughout the past years, but especially Mrs. Jeanette, Mr. Kent, Mr. Allen, and Dawn Star. I would like to thank Carol Hillman for her incredible patience, kindness, and understanding as my mentor, and I would also like to thank Henry Zink for making the coming of age class entertaining, interesting, and I would also like to thank my family because they're awesome.
My story begins with a challenge I never expected to face so young, the feeling that I wasn't enough. Through bullying, isolation, and illness, I struggled with my self-worth and self-image. It took time, support, and reflection to begin healing, but what I learned is that mental health matters deeply and it affects more people than we realize. It is a sad reality that experiences like this are all too common. Through my journey, I learned that mental health isn't something to be ignored or stigmatized. It shapes how we view ourselves, how we relate to others, and how we navigate the world. I am proud to be part of a generation that recognizes the severity and importance of this issue. However, with an astonishing 1 in 8 people experiencing a mental health challenge in their lifetime, the fight is far from over. This, I believe, is one of the most relevant topics to all people, and I believe it is time we treat it as such. The Coming of Age program has given me the opportunity to reflect deeply on my values and how I want to dedicate my time and energy. Moving forward, I want to use my passion for baking to support causes close to my heart, particularly those that focus on mental health challenges like eating disorders. This year, I worked to get Eating Disorder Awareness Week officially recognized at my school and supported a bill that would make eating disorder education a national requirement in schools. I am also leading a joint school initiative called the Birthday Bags Project, which puts together gift bags to spread joy to people experiencing food insecurity. To open more doors for myself, I'll be taking a clinical psychology course at Gettysburg College and a course on mental health stigma at Brown University to keep learning and increasing my impact on this community and beyond. Through my journey, I learned that being a Unitarian Universalist and part of the MLUC community means supporting each other and believing in the worth and dignity of every person. It means honoring each journey, each truth, and each struggle. That belief that everyone matters has helped me rediscover that I matter too. So if there's one thing I know for sure, it's that there are people in this room who may be feeling helpless and alone. Just know that you are more loved than you will ever know, and you matter. This I believe.
Thank you, Amalia, Katie, Rachel, and Sarah, for sharing all of your reflections with us today. At this time, I'd like to invite your families and your mentors to come forward as we honor you where you are in your process of coming of age. You guys can stand up. Yeah. Jansen, mentors can be over.
If you're family, you should find your youth and stand with them. If you're mentors, you should be over there. Coming of age rituals take many forms and have many meanings in different cultures, religions, and times. Here in our church, completing the coming of age program requires thinking about who you are, what is important to you, how you connect with our congregation, and how you can contribute to our faith and our world. Over the course of this year, you did this through youth group activities, personal reflection and preparation, and working with your mentors, preparing this service with your youth group peers. I have invited your families to offer you one word to carry with you from this ceremony forwards. This word could be something your families have already given you in life, or something they hope you will strive towards. You might get one word, or you might get one word from different people each. It might be in writing, it might be spoken just to you, or they might shout it out loud. It's all up to you. Give your words. Fearless. I told her, but being able to continue to find joy in small things.
That's your confidence. Once you have received your word, please come over here to stand with your mentors. Give yourself a moment to hold that word or those words in your heart. Take a good, deep breath. Everybody take a good, deep breath.
I want to deeply thank these mentors for your work with these young people this year. One of the things that church has to offer families is that is very hard to find anywhere else in our culture is the chance for our children and youth to get to know trusted and trustworthy adults outside of their families and schools. I know each of you mentors would say you are honored to be asked and delighted to work with these youth. We appreciate you.
Mentors, each of you has a small gift for your mentee. As is our tradition, these gifts are simple jewelry flaming chalices of their choice, along with a book.
And I found Why Are You You sweatshirts and t-shirts in the cupboard, so you get those too. We close our ceremony with a responsive reading adapted from the words of Monica Jacobson Tennyson. May we seek to serve life. And this is a little bit of an unusual responsive reading. Usually somebody up here reads something and you respond. But in this case, you have the first line, you, the congregation, and then the rest of us will follow up. So it'll be on the screen. There you go. Go for it.
We come today to join in the spirit of love and the service of life. We come today to be part of the stream of this living tradition.
In our gathering, may we be blessed.
Our shared faith is made up of people who gather. Our shared faith is called by the beacon of love and justice.
Our shared faith is breathed into life by the questions and the actions of the people.
Through our faith, may we strive to use our hearts, minds, and deeds to bring more love, justice, and truth into the world.
In the Spirit, we affirm that when we gather in love and justice, we open ourselves to life itself.
In our opening to life, may we know ourselves to be blessed.
May we seek to serve life, each with our own gifts and in our own ways, always doing so in love. May we know ourselves held in the love that is always with us.
Let's hear it for our coming of age class of 2025.
Our benediction today is called Go Forward in Peace by Adam Slate. As we leave today's gathering and head into the coming week, may we both find peace and work for peace. May we be treated generously and treat the people around us with generosity. May we have wisdom, strength, and patience and know when to exercise each. May the community of love that we share here in this sanctuary work its way out into the world, both through the holy presence we create and through our actions. Until we are together again, go in peace. Please remain seated for the postlude.